right, welcome on into this episode of the Rust Belt Rivalry podcast. I'm Brian Phillips. Hello. I'm Brian Phillips, my co-host Nick Remchek here. We've got a packed show for you as usual. We will wrap up the NFL week action, talk about a little bit about next week, diving in deep to the Bengals and Browns. I'm a Browns fan. He's a Bengals fan, if you can't tell by the shirt, unfortunately. We'll sprinkle in some Ohio State and college football highlights and take it away, Nick. What do you think?
Yeah, I have a lot to talk about, Brian. So I've been waiting for at least the last 24 hours to record this after Sunday. So I want to dive right into this, if that's okay with you.
The floor is yours, buddy. You go ahead and spill.
Got to keep my voice down. We just got our daughter to sleep, so I can't wake the baby up. So
that's fair.
Okay. The Bengals are 2-0. And they have done everything that the fans have asked them to, the critics have asked them to, and that is to start fast in September. They have not been 2-0 since, I believe it's 2018. But yet there is a dark cloud over the city of Cincinnati right now because in the second quarter, Joe Burrow goes down. He's going to need surgery. They are saying a minimum of 12 weeks. To be honest with you, I am not expecting him to return at all this season. I think he's done. It's going to be too late in the season. I just feel like a lot can happen. I hope he proves me wrong, but I just do not see him coming back this year. Which, I mean, it's a killer. I mean, he's been in the league for 6 years, and this would be his third season-ending injury. I just don't know how much more data the Brown family needs and the Bengals organization to say, you know what, we should probably protect this guy now. It's extremely frustrating as a fan. I'm still a little optimistic about the season, though. I mean, if we were 0-2 right now going into week 3, it's a whole different conversation. But somehow,
I can speak to
that. I'm sure you can. But no, Sunday was a good day, but it was also a frustrating day. I just personally, I don't know what is going to happen with the future with Joe Burrow, with him being this injury prone. And at this point, I'm starting to worry about just him mentally. I mean, he's, when he comes back at the end of this year or next year, I mean, what does that do to somebody to where you've had that many injuries? I mean, and let's just nip this in the bud right now. Stop comparing Joe Burrow to Andrew Luck when it comes to him potentially retiring early, okay? Joe Burrow is a football player, right? Andrew Luck wanted to be a history teacher, honestly. Like, that's why he retired. I get the injury thing. I get it. But Joe Burrow has this in his blood. He's not retiring. It's just not going to happen. But anyways, I just wanted to hit on that with Burrow. I just wanted to get into the game a little bit here, and I'll let you talk about your Browns.
Sure. Well, before we do that, we were talking about Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking at his injury history, right? 2020, you had the knee, ACL, MCL, PCL strain. 2022, the grade 1 knee strain. 23, the wrist ligament tear, and then in 25, obviously the injury we just saw. You mentioned 3 separate season-ending injuries. I know it's not the NBA, right? But we typically eventually put the title of, guys made of glass, injury prone, what have you. You mentioned his psyche. Do you think that is going to be a concern, a problem? Do you think injuries are going to continue to plague them? Do you think they're all one-offs? What are your thoughts?
I mean, it's just, even before going into the season, it was keep Joe Burrow healthy, protect Joe Burrow. I mean, the frustrating part about the whole thing is he had this offseason was his healthiest offseason he's ever had as a pro. I think we can say that Joe Burrow is definitely injury prone and he's made of glass at this point. And it's not all of those injuries are on, the offensive line. That's the thing too. I mean, the offensive line has not been great with Joe Burrow since he's been here, but Burrow loves to extend those plays, and sometimes it's what happens. I mean, he got extremely unlucky on Sunday. I mean, you plant your foot like that, and I mean, you look at the play, and it doesn't even look like it's that bad, right?
No, yeah, you're true. That's right.
So, I mean, yeah, it's definitely going to be nerve-wracking. I mean, I think anytime you see him take a hit at this point for the rest of his career. So,
For sure. It's a
yeah.
shame. Well, you want to talk about the game? Let's dive into the game. A little bit more positive note for you.
Yes. So the Bengals again, they're 2-0. They beat the Jaguars 31-27. Burrow left the game almost halfway through the second quarter. Jake Browning comes in. He goes 21 for 32 with 3 picks and 2 touchdowns. They still win the game. I mean, with Browning, and it's extremely weird to me, and I think some Bengal fans would agree with this, it just seems like when Browning gets into the game, and we saw this in 2023 when he started, when Burrow was out, it just seems like the playbook opens up a little bit more to where he's not afraid to take those shots downfield, to whereas Burrow's a little more conservative with the ball. Now, granted, Browning had 3 picks, so he just doesn't really, he's not as cautious as Joe, which I think can help, but I think it also can hurt, right? So they both have their strengths. I'm pretty confident with Browning as a backup. Again, he went 4-3 as a starter in 2023. So he has the experience, and he just has a really good connection, especially with T. Higgins. So I'm looking forward to seeing him play on Sunday. I am not sold on this Bengals defense yet, though. I can tell you that. I think it's only a matter of time before this defense blows up in a bad way. I think they've gotten very lucky with a lot of drops in critical situations. I think every single interception they've had is where the ball either was dropped by a receiver or tipped. So that's very interesting to me. Still, I mean, they're still lacking a little pass rush. So yeah, I am not sold on the defense, but the Bengals have the weapons on offense to win some games this year. Sure. I'm sure we'll talk about this after the Browns game, or talking about the Browns, but I think they have a chance to still make the playoffs. So, well, I'll end my Bengals rant on that, and we'll continue that after we talk about your 0-2 Cleveland Browns over there.
Yeah, and a couple of things I just want to touch on. I mean, you had mentioned the turnovers. I mean, again, the Bengals defense, like you said, I think it's a lot of luck. I think they created 3 turnovers. Again, kind of balls bounced around a little bit. The other thing with Joe Burrow, I was looking up his stats before the game last week when they were playing against the Browns. I mean, he's got a 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. So you mentioned that he's a little more cautious. And I think probably what you get to with Burrow is, he sees the field better, right? He knows when to be dangerous and when not to. Whereas, you kind of got the Jameis Winston experience last week with Browning, bunch of plays. I also noticed that both coaches were extremely aggressive on 4th down towards the end of that game, which kind of surprised me. I understood it. I understood all the reasoning why, right? Jaguars are up 3 points, and you're afraid that they're going to drive down and win, with a touchdown if you score a field goal there. Then there was 2 plays. You guys went for on 4th down on the drive to ultimately win the game. One of them was a pass interference that was called on Travis Hunter.
So you think they should have punted right there on that 4th down?
Oh no, I think they're totally justified for going for it. I also think they're extremely lucky for, number one, a pass interference call, and just making that happen, right?
That was a makeup call for sure.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
Well, it was definitely pass interference. I won't argue that, but those are just a couple things that I definitely noticed as I was watching the highlights. Onto a more somber note for me, the Browns. You inquired about them. Things are looking up. Things are looking great in Cleveland, right? We're 0-2. The funny thing to me is, I don't know how much you follow Cleveland. I know you live in the Cleveland area, but around here, the sky is falling. Everybody needs fired. It's week 2. We lost We lost in week 1 in a close game, which most people didn't expect to be close. And then we lost in a game where we were 11.5-point underdogs, right? We were expected to lose by double digits, and now the sky is falling down. Our offensive line sucks. I can't argue that. Our wide receivers suck. They're ranked 32nd in the NFL. I mean, this was before the season started. Joe Flacco and our offensive line just look old and slow, and that's what they are. That's what we knew before the season started. A lot of people want to blame Kevin Stefanski. While I can't give him a pass, when you lose by 20 whatever points, it's embarrassing, right? Special teams, there's a blocked punt. There should never be a blocked punt in the NFL. I think the defense played a really good game despite the stat line showing 41 points given up. 21 of those 41 points were earned on the Ravens putting up a total of 30 yards. So there was a fumble recovery for a touchdown, an interception where they got down to the 5-yard line, and then the blocked punt where they started their drive on the 25-yard line. So they got 21 points on those 3 drives, which, again, was 30 total yards. Can't blame that on the defense. Myles Garrett was, dropping F-bombs after the game, saying how embarrassing it is. And I don't blame him either, right? I was personally a little pissed off when he went on a Radio Row this offseason. And I think a lot of fans took it personally, and rightfully so, and he ended up signing the contract. But already to this point in the season, you're already seeing everything that Myles Garrett said is 100% correct. He went out there and busted his butt, right? He is putting the Superman cape on, and he is willing that defense. That defensive line is one of the only good things on this team. And then the offense just goes 3 and out, right? And then he's right back on the field, and people are making fun of him for being gassed. It's like, what else do you expect this man to do, right? You can't play defense for 45 minutes, like a quarter. It's just, it's tough to watch. So back to Kevin Stefanski. The talent discrepancy is so bad when we play good teams. It's going to be bad against the Packers again.
We're probably for you guys coming up.
It doesn't even matter. I mean, think about this, Krumchek. The Browns had, if not the worst, one of the worst offenses in football last year. And what did we do with our first 2 draft picks? We picked two defensive players. So what does that tell you? That tells you that the offense was going to suck, right? You knew it. Everybody knew it going in. And I think there's a little bit of a problem with the way they manage the offseason. Drafting 2 quarterbacks is crazy in the same year. They spent a lot of time splitting up reps between 4 different quarterbacks, and I think that screwed up the chemistry a little bit. But what Josh Allen did to the Ravens in week 1, all was predicated on his legs, right? He was scrambling to get out of the pocket, extending the play, and making big plays. Joe Flacco can't do that. So when the Ravens defense is playing stout, as they always do, there's nowhere for him to throw the ball, and he can't extend the pocket because he's too slow. He looks like he's, running with me, right? So it's just, it's not good out there. Again, special teams, not good. I think it's time to just move on from Joe Flacco. I don't know. This is the Browns. Again, I mentioned the talent discrepancy. I don't want to just see them lose. I'm a fan. But I also realize you keep running Joe Flacco out there, we've got nothing to gain, right? Joe Flacco is not our future. And I don't know if Dylan Gabriel is. I don't know if Shedeur Sanders is. I don't really care. We got to find out as much as we possibly can.
Yep.
And that's what I think the rest of the season needs to be, because the Browns are not coming back from 0-2, right? You mentioned it's a gauntlet of a season, and people are now debating when's a good time to put the rookie in. The next few games, you've got the Packers, who are probably going to win the Super Bowl, in my estimation. Not a good game. Then you've got
bold pick or prediction there. That's a bold prediction.
It is a bold prediction. I saw what they did to the Commanders. Then you got the Lions, which the Lions are going to put up 40, 50 points on us somehow. Then you go to London to play the Vikings. Then you've got the Steelers. Tell me what a good game is to put in the next 6 weeks. If you're just going by, let's put the best quarterback in right now, we're going to be 0-6 with Joe Flacco maybe healthy come week 7 when we have our first easy game in the Dolphins. Not happening.
I don't see Flacco starting they already announced he's starting on Sunday.
Yep.
Honestly, if things go south in the first half, I could see them putting Gabriel in the second half. I really could.
I think they have to.
Yeah. At this point, I don't see, like your point. You just got to see what these kids have. And you can't say Gabriel he's not ready. The guy played college football for 6 years. Tell me that's not ready. I know the NFL is completely different, but yeah, I don't see the harm at this point in throwing him out there. I think that they might fear though that, what's he going to look like against a defense like the Green Bay Packers? You know what I mean? I think that could definitely have a play in it. So
I'm sure
I don't see Flacco starting, the next 8 games, for example. I think they might give him maybe 3 more starts. And if they go bad, then they're moving on for sure.
Yep. I'm with you. You just don't have another choice. There's nothing else you can do, I don't think, at this point. And it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But let's touch one more thing on the Bengals. So the Bengals' future. You mentioned that you think that they can win some games. What is your outlook? You mentioned Burrow's probably going to be out for the year.
Yes.
If he's out for the year, what do you see the Bengals finishing?
So they're not going to win the division. I honestly think, I thought too, like before the season even started with Burrow starting, that it was the Ravens division to win.
Sure.
I think 10 wins gets you into the wild card. So that would mean the Bengals would have to win 8 more. And look, we can go back and forth on what games, I think that they're going to win or what you think they're going to win. It always works out to where they're going to win games, at least a game that they are expected to win, and then they're going to lose a game, that they were expected to win, right? So it's just, I don't know. I just think that this offense, like I said earlier, has the weapons. It's early. I get it. I just think that Browning has the experience to at least make some noise here and make a push for this thing. So do I see them winning the Super Bowl this year? No, I don't. But I think that they definitely have a chance to make the wild card. You look at the AFC this year. I think there's 4 teams in the AFC that are 2-0 right now. And you got some teams that are struggling, like we're going to talk about. Is it time for them to panic this early? Maybe. Love the Chiefs are 0-2, though. I'm going to keep saying that. But yeah, I do think that there are 8 games on this schedule for the Bengals to win. So yeah, I like the chances.
Yeah. I don't think it's as crazy as it sounds. You mentioned Browning went 4-3 last time he was the starter for a long period. I don't see 8 wins, but I could see how you could squint a little bit and find it. So as a Browns fan, I can definitely understand that. So,
I'm saying all this before I even see Browning start a full game. So we'll
yeah.
Let's circle back. Yeah, let's circle back next week. He's going against the Vikings again, where they actually played when he 2 years ago. He started against the Vikings, and this is the team that cut him. So he's got a chip on his shoulder, I think.
Motivated. Okay.
Yeah, it's Carson Wentz is starting too for the Vikings. I think I saw a tweet earlier and it said they should flex this game to 4 a.m.
Oh, geez. Seriously. Is it going to be a 9 a.m.?
Yeah, right. It's a 1 o'clock kick, but it is the game of the week for so Jim Nantz and Tony Romo will be on the call. So
oh man.
Yeah.
Well, would have been if that's the quarterbacks were there starting. So
right.
We mentioned Burrow out. We mentioned Carson Wentz out. Some other big names that went down last week. Jaden Daniels, questionable day-to-day. His backup, Marcus Mariota. Austin Eckler, torn Achilles, out for the season. Looks like rookie Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt is going to be stepping up there, which is a bummer for me because I have Brian Robinson in a lot of fantasy football leagues. I was hoping he would stick on.
Yep.
Either of those two injuries, I guess they're the only other big ones are to the Commanders. I mean, how do you think that affects them going forward?
I mean, yeah, I think it definitely affects him. Austin Eckler is a weapon, especially when calling screens. I mean, like I said, he's a dual threat, so I think that definitely doesn't help. Marcus Mariota, if he's got to start, I don't even remember the last time he started a game, man. Kind of forgot he was still in the league. But I mean, I said the same thing about Mac Jones last week, and he actually didn't look horrible. So
300 yards and I think 3 touchdowns. That's not too shabby.
No, it's not. So
I told you that Kyle Shanahan magic, baby.
Yeah, I definitely think that Eckler being out is going to be a huge problem for the Commanders moving forward. But again, I mean, there's a rookie, so I guess we're going to see what he's got.
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk about some of the more wild finishes in the NFL this week. The biggest one to me was the Giants-Cowboys game. We talked about it last week. Rivalry game in division. That was a crazy game. What were your thoughts?
I mean, it was. I had the Cowboys in one of my Survivor leagues, so
me too.
Yeah, that was definitely nerve-wracking. But I mean, it was a very entertaining game. But man, it just shows, honestly. I know it's a divisional game. I get that, but man, the Cowboys, I just don't see them getting to the playoffs anytime soon.
No.
It's that defense that defense is bad. If you're giving up that many points to the Giants, you've got a problem.
That's why I was grabbing up every Cowboys wide receiver and quarterback I could in fantasy football.
Yeah, I do not see Russell Wilson doing that every single week. So but yeah, a very entertaining game. So I was very shocked that honestly the Cowboys won that game.
What about Broncos Colts? Lutz misses the field goal to put them up by what that would have been 5, 6, something like that.
Yeah.
And then your Colts drive get a 60-yard field goal attempt. They miss it. They call that I can't even remember what it was. It was a leverage penalty.
Yes, so 15 yards. And he drills it after that. I mean, crazy finish
to win the game.
To win the game, yeah. I was watching that game live, and I turned it off once he missed the first field goal, and I got a text, and they were like, "Can you believe the Colts?" I'm like, "They lost. What are you talking about?" I said, "Oh my gosh!" But yeah, crazy game. Fun fact for you: the Colts are the only team in the Super Bowl era to not punt in their first 2 games of the season. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
with Daniel Jones especially. I mean,
oh man,
I'll tell you this: I picked him up in my fantasy to replace Joe Burrow, so I need all the help I can get. I'm 0-2 right now, so
smart move. I'm still skeptical, man. I'm still skeptical, but
I'm sure when I start him, he's going to do bad. I mean, because I'm just bad luck. So we'll see what happens.
The other things I noticed, man. I mean, number one, the Bills blowing out the Jets. I didn't have that. I mean, do you think the Jets just week 1 magic putting up all those points on the Steelers, or what happened there? Are the Bills just that much better?
I just think the Bills are so good, man.
Yeah.
Josh Allen breaks his nose, gets back in the game.
Wild.
Yeah, I still think it's just kind of too early to tell on some of these teams on how bad they really are. I just the Jets played the Steelers week 1, and then the Steelers lose this week or this previous week. So I think after 5 weeks is really where you start seeing really the really bad teams, and then the average teams in there. So I don't know. We'll see with the Jets, but I don't have a lot of faith in them right now.
Yeah. Another one that surprised the heck out of me is the Saints, man. They keep staying in those games. I kind of had them and the Browns neck and neck for, most realistic to be towards the bottom, and somehow they've been hanging in there. I mean, they're 0-2 as well, but it just surprises me.
I think the Saints and Browns are going to be battling for a top draft pick this or next year.
Possibly for a quarterback that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of wins on the Saints schedule, to be honest with you. But they stayed in the game. But yeah, I don't know.
It's wild. And then you mentioned the Chiefs earlier. Obviously, the Eagles beat the Chiefs.
They did.
That was an interesting game. I mean, the Eagles just continue to dominate by just running the ball.
Yeah.
I think A.J. Brown, again, only has 5 receptions, I think, for 27 yards.
Absolutely brutal.
But they're not throwing the ball, Nick.
I know.
They're not throwing the ball. So I think they had 34 runs and only 22 passing attempts. Obviously, the game dictates that a little bit, right? But on the other side of the ball, Mahomes, we touched on it last week, man. The guy's got no help. He's doing it all himself.
Yeah, and I picked the Chiefs last week during the show to I thought they were going to win this game because they're in Arrowhead, and just in the past they've always find a way to win these games to where they're close. But I mean, I was proven wrong. And again, I love this. I love the Chiefs are 0-2. And it looks like you see a lot of those players getting frustrated too. They're not used to this. So I mean, they're gonna have to figure it out quick because the Chargers are 2-0 right now. And I think they have a heck of a roster this year. So they're gonna have to figure it out real quick.
For sure. And you mentioned the Chargers. That's one of my teams. There's a couple teams that are surprising me as 2-0, right? One of them we mentioned already, the Colts. We didn't touch on the Cardinals much, but I am shocked that they're 2-0, and the Chargers. So out of those 3 teams, what are you seeing? And what do you think is going to stick? And who do you think the false narrative is?
I don't believe in the Cardinals. I really don't. They have a pretty weak schedule if you really look at especially I guess early on. But I could see them being a wild card team, I guess, but I'm still not sold on Kyler Murray. But honestly, the team that I'm most impressed that's 2-0, obviously besides like the Packers and a couple other teams, but I really think the Buccaneers have a chance this year. And I know you love seeing your boy Baker Mayfield ball out. So that guy, man, he's a dog, man. It's just really unfortunate that it didn't work out with the Browns, because I just feel like you guys wouldn't be having this conversation with who should be starting right now. So
sure wouldn't. We would have had like 5 draft picks back. 3 of them would have been first rounders, and but it is what it is. We're just just painful. I mean, the biggest one for me, the 2-0 teams though, is got to be the Chargers. I mean, I watched both games and they look dominant, man. The games were close at the end, but I don't think they really were. And I think Harbaugh and Herbert, now that they've got all those weapons and a good running game, I think that's exactly what, it pisses me off to see Jim Harbaugh continue to have success. But, the one time I rooted for him was when the 49ers played the Baltimore Ravens in the Super Bowl, and he let me down. But nonetheless, let's not go back 300 years. Now, the 0-2 starts. You mentioned Kansas City. That's a surprise to me. The other surprise to me is the Houston Texans. What do you think's going on there? What are you seeing, Nick?
They don't have an offensive line, man. I mean, they're not giving CJ Stroud enough time back there. So that's going to be a killer for them. I think they're definitely missing Joe Mixon right now. Look, Nick Chubb had a couple good runs yesterday, but you could just tell he's not the old Nick Chubb, right? Nope. So I would agree with you. I thought the Texans were definitely going to be a little better. Would have never guessed the Colts being 2-0 and leading their division right now, for sure. But that one's definitely interesting. Do you see anybody from the the NFC that is 0-2 that you're surprised about?
That I'm surprised. I looking through the list, there was nothing that really surprised me, honestly.
I'm with you there.
Not anything that stood off the page.
Yeah.
Let's switch it over to college a little bit. Let's talk just a touch of Buckeyes. Not a whole lot to talk about, right? It was a 28-point game against the old Bobcats, but Buckeyes got off to a slow start. We both noticed that. I have a little bit of a pause because of Julian Sand throwing 3 interceptions against much lower level teams. I know it's early in the year. He's probably figuring some things out. They're probably testing things. What do you attribute that to? Are you concerned at all, or what do you think?
No, I mean, I don't think that the Bobcats are a bad team, honestly. I think that they're going to be fighting for a MAC championship this year. I mean, they have a great roster for it. I don't know. It just seemed like it was one of those weird games. I feel like Ohio State has one of those every year to where they let a team, hang around in the first half, and then, second half, they really figure things out. So
Sure.
I'm not necessarily concerned about anything right now with Sand, especially. It happens. You have bad games. So, and get them out early, because now you got to go to Washington, right? I mean, this is your first road game and it's conference play right now. So time to get to work.
For sure. The other big thing that I noticed from that game is just Bo Jackson. I mean, 12 yards per carry.
It's your boy.
It's my boy, man. I've been hearing former NFL players talk about this kid, how special he was in the spring, and how so I got on the train early, even though he's a true freshman. The other 2 running backs against the exact same team, exact same competition, like 6-some yards a carry and 4 yards a carry. So I'm Team Bo, baby. I say make him RB1. Some people are calling me crazy. What do you think?
I honestly don't have an argument with you on that, man. I think the kid's special. I wouldn't mind seeing it. He's definitely proving that he belongs. So I can't argue with you on that one, Brian. As much as I would love to, I can't.
Yeah, love it. A lot of people like to. So since there's not much to talk about that, I mean, let's talk about some of the other college games around the Horn. LSU, that was a big point of contention for a lot of people. They lose an ugly one. I think they had 5 interceptions in that game, but only put up 20 points.
Yeah.
What are your? I know you saw the interview after the game with Brian Kelly. What are your thoughts when
he's such a crybaby? He already apologized for how he acted, and look, I get it. I'm trying to put myself in his shoes, and he had some points. It's just like, you won the game, right? I mean, but yeah, I mean, I think he definitely should have been able to answer some of those questions, right?
Sure.
Could have convert on a 3rd down to save their lives. Lots of turnovers. So, but I think LSU is going to be fine. I think they definitely have the weapons to make a run this year in the playoffs. So I've never been a fan of Brian Kelly. Like I said, I just feel like he's a sore loser.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can't argue it. I mean, he's a good coach, right? So
getting the job done down there.
Yeah.
Old Baton Rouge. So I pulled up the top 10 in college football. Anything surprise you there? I pulled it off the AP. There's a couple different ways, but I know. I mean, the only thing that I think is, Oregon. I think Oregon's going to continue to climb. And when I called out Tennessee last week, I think they were listening to our podcast and they were listening to you support them because they proved me wrong. I think they should have won that damn game. But anything else that surprised you with the top 10, top 25?
No. And again, honestly, I could care less about standings or rankings this early in the season. Sure. I just feel like everybody's going to have an argument on, they shouldn't be there. They should be in there. Like, it's just, It's too early for it. Once the actual college football playoff rankings start coming out, that's when I really start paying attention.
When's that? Like week 6?
I think so. It's
Okay.
got to be around there.
Right.
Yeah, but no, what was
And
it?
as a Browns fan, always looking for a quarterback. I've been keeping my eye on the quarterbacks, and none of them seem to be doing great so far. Obviously, as you mentioned, it's super early.
Mhm.
Is there any of the college quarterbacks that are surprising you yet, good or bad?
I
The big ones, the big ones.
I mean, I would say, Manning is just not looking that great right now.
Mm.
I think he would be crazy to leave
Oh,
after
yeah,
this year.
not happening.
Yeah, it's just I get it. He's young, but I mean, he misses some throws, man, that he should be able to make at this level.
Yep.
But again, young quarterback. But yeah, I think he's definitely gonna get a lot more experience with the rest of the season. And like I said, there's no way he's leaving after this year.
I don't think so either.
Even though your owner, the Haslams, are good friends with the Mannings, it sounds like I just don't see it happening.
I don't see it happening either. I don't think it would matter. I talked to some Texas fans. One of them told me that he'd be surprised if this kid ever ended up being a first round pick, and that the hype is just too much. It's just a last name, and
Yep.
it's funny. I was saying that before the season started, and a bunch of people hopped on me, but I just I didn't see it either. If my thought was like, hey man, if this guy couldn't beat out a 7th round pick and Quinn Ewers the prior year, I'm like, what are we going to see from him? And
It's a great point.
I guess that game last week, they only won by like 14, 15 points, something like that, and the Texas fans were just not impressed. So
yeah,
like you said, it's still early though. Let's flip it back to the NFL. Talk about the week coming up here. Your Bengals are facing the Vikings.
Yeah. Yep.
What are you, backup quarterback versus backup quarterback? I guess all things equal there, luckily for you.
Yeah.
What do you see there?
Yeah, Aaron Jones is out too. I think that helps.
Okay.
They also have one of their offensive linemen, Christian Darrisaw, is out as well. He would have been going up against Trey Hendrickson. So Trey's going to be going up against a 6th round draft pick. So I love that matchup. But this one could be a weird one. Honestly, I would have rather played JJ McCarthy. I just think the Bengals have a horrible track record against playing against backup quarterbacks. So, but I think the spread keeps dropping in this one too. I think it's down to 2.5. So I Vegas is just giving the Vikings home field advantage at that point. So,
sure.
I think the Bengals can pull a win out of this one for sure.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too surprising.
Yeah.
Now that it's Carson Wentz, and I didn't even know about Aaron Jones, so that's wild. If you've got Jordan Mason out in there, he's been showing up anyway. If you've got him in your fantasy football leagues, pick him up, baby.
Oh yeah.
The Browns, they've already announced. You mentioned it. They've already announced Flacco is going to be the starter. I think the Packers, whatever the spread is, I think they're going to cover it. I don't see it happening. You already had one of my points. I think if Flacco has a bad first half, it's very likely that we see Gabriel in the second half. Man,
that crowd's going to be ruthless. If they go down at half, they're going to be screaming for him to get on the field. So
there might be a lot of green and yellow out there, man. I mean,
they do travel.
I know a couple buddies that sold their tickets to Packers fans. There's not a very lot of opportunities for Browns fans to make money on their season tickets. So, I just, man, watching that game on Thursday night with the Packers and shutting down Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Micah Parsons specialized in last year. That was Jaden Daniels' worst 2 games was against the Cowboys, and he just showed up again. And the Packers defense is just way too good for this inept Browns offense.
Yeah.
I think Quinshon Judkins is going to have a good game. I think he's going to go off now that he'll have a whole probably 5 or 6 practices in the NFL total.
Yeah.
Rather than just 2. So I think that'll be a nice thing to look forward to. Maybe that'll help our offensive line look a little better. But I think it's going to be a bludgeoning. And if you can get Dylan Gabriel out there and get some kind of hope and excitement, the sooner the better.
Yeah.
Couple other games that I have my eye on. You got the Broncos and Chargers, Cardinals, 49ers, and Lions, Ravens. Of those games, what are you looking forward to the most? And what are you excited about it?
I would definitely say the Lions, Ravens is going to be a great game. I think it's going to be very high scoring. Definitely would take the over in that one. Guys, look, I know I went 0-2 in my picks last week. We're going to turn it around this week, okay? Bet the over in the Lions-Ravens game.
Ooh.
Calling it right now. I think it's going to be one of those games where it was like the Bills and Ravens in week 1. Just 2 offenses that are just going to go and just keep scoring after every drive. So, I really like that game. You mentioned the Broncos Chargers. That's going to be a very interesting game too. I love the division game. Both teams, decent defenses. I mean, obviously, I would say the Broncos have the edge on that one. But yeah, that should be a good one too.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be exciting. I'm so high on the Chargers. I think they're finally getting it clicking, and I just don't have as much faith in Bo Nix as most others do. That's a lot of coaching, and then I am curious to see if Mac Jones can repeat that performance again against the Cardinals. But like I said, with the Kyle Shanahan magic, baby, he seems to just doesn't matter who you throw in at quarterback. He can figure it out unless you get down to like your emergency third stringer.
For sure. Do you see the Bills Dolphins? Do you see that being a trap game for the Bills? The reason I say that, it's a Thursday night game. Those games can always be weird. It's a divisional game. Nobody's really counting on the Dolphins to do anything this year at this point. Something just stinks about this game. I can't tell what it is just yet. But I mean, what are your thoughts?
I'm with you. That was what I had circled for my initial pick for my Survivor League this week, and I'm like, I can't. I'm almost too confident, right? The Bills have been rocking.
Yeah.
The Dolphins have been just atrocious. I don't see it happening, but it's almost like, too confident in it, right? So
yeah.
I don't see the Dolphins with the upset, but like you said, it's a Thursday night, and you never know what happens on a Thursday night, man. And you just can't count on Tua. Unfortunately, I mean, how many Thursday night games or Sunday night games has he gone out injured in?
That's a good point.
I don't know. I don't see it. So I'm still confident in the Bills.
Yeah, I think I'm going to stay away from that game. I'm sure the Bills will take care of business, but it's just those Thursday night games, man, they're just weird. There's just a track record of something happening. So
sure.
Yep.
Well, what you mentioned your bet, the over on the Lions Ravens game.
Yep.
Do you have any other locks for us this week?
I'm really liking the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars and Texans are a pick 'em right now. I think the Jags are they might actually be a half-point favorite, but I think the Jaguars just have better talent. They're the better team, honestly. If their offense, I mean, again, it's going up against the Bengals defense, so what am I here to say? But I for some reason I like them being at home, and I think they're going to take care of business. So if you wanted to pick one, though, I would say the Lions Ravens is a lock.
Okay.
So
And give me a bold prediction for your Bengals this week or the Bengals game.
yeah, I think we talked about it earlier with the matchup that Trey Hendrickson's going to have against this sixth round. I think he was a rookie. I think this is his second year. But I'm going to say he has 3 sacks on Sunday.
Ooh,
Yep.
sheesh.
Yeah.
Well,
We'll
I
see
guess I
what
should have gone
happens.
first. My prediction isn't that bold. For your Browns Packers, I'm saying somehow Quinshawn Judkins gets 100 yards and a touchdown. So
I don't hate it. I don't. Judkins. I mean, he showed some speed on I think I saw one run that he had.
okay.
But yeah, I mean, I don't hate that at all.
Yeah, I mean it's eye-opening if you watch it. If you watch the Browns run offense that game, you got to see exactly what it looked like with Samson, exactly what it looked like with Jerome Ford, which is the same thing we've been seeing for the last 3 years, and exactly what it looked like with somebody who actually has a lot of talent, right? And it's like one guy got almost 70 yards and has only had 2 practices. The other guys, I think, combined for like 20, 30 yards, right? It's like, oh, but
it's gonna be tough. I mean, but I don't know. It's something that it's definitely bold. Don't get me wrong, especially against the Packers defense. But I mean, how often are they going to be running the ball if they're going to be down, 21-0 after the first quarter? So
if Dylan Gabriel is in, they're going to be handing that ball off, baby. I can tell you that they're not going to make him throw it 40 times or 20 times and a half.
That's a good point.
Let's wrap it up. Let's flip over to some college. The preview of the week here before we walk out of here.
Yep.
So Ohio State. Unfortunately, I just don't see much of any storylines. No real good matchups. I keep seeing the spreads like 13.5, 14 points in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Washington is undefeated, but again, anything that you're got your eye on for the week to watch for, or what are your thoughts?
No, nothing's really jumping off the page for me. I mean, there's a couple of, Illinois plays Indiana. That should be a good game. I'm honestly interested to see how Notre Dame does against Purdue. Honestly, Notre Dame is coming off 2 very bad losses. So I'm curious to see if they bounce back or not. So I'll be watching that one just to see.
Okay.
But yeah, nothing jumps off the page for me this week.
Okay. So who do you like in that Indiana-Illinois game? I mean, I was looking at actually it seems that Indiana is favored.
Yeah.
Even though they're 19 and Illinois is ranked 9. So
what was the line on that one? Did you see yet? Or
I didn't look at the line.
Yeah.
I think they were favored maybe 3.5.
That makes sense. They're at home.
Okay.
I would lean towards Indiana, but man, that is a tough game to call right now. But I would have said honestly, if they were at Illinois, then I probably would have liked Illinois. I think the home team wins this one. So
we'll see. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of good things about Altmaier. I haven't seen it myself, but that's what I keep hearing. Other big matchups to watch out for, top 25 matchups, Oklahoma and Auburn. I personally think Oklahoma is just going to smoke Auburn.
Yeah.
And Utah, Texas Tech. Texas Tech has finally found, some NIL money with all that oil money down there. And I think they're going to be really good in the next few years because of that. But I think Utah is going to end up in the playoff this year. And I see them winning this game. So I think Utah finishes somewhere 7-8. Anything else you like out there?
I'm honestly curious to see how this Florida and Miami game goes.
Ooh, yeah.
Florida is not that great right now.
Yeah.
And I think that's their coach is definitely on the hot seat for this one. Again, though, it's just one of those rivalries, in-state rivalries, to where anything can happen. I think Miami does win the game, but it might be closer than people think.
Yeah, so, I could see that. I definitely see Miami winning, but I could definitely see it being close too.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, baby. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this week's latest episode of the Rust Belt Rivalry Podcast, baby. Browns fans, Bengals fans, Buckeye Nation. We got a lot to look forward to, except for the Browns. Nick, what do you got for us?
Yeah, no, always a good time, Brian. Make sure you subscribe, leave us a review, hit us up on social media for any of your takes, and we'll be back next week.
All right, love it, baby. See ya.